What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the Imperial Computing interview, which I literally just did yesterday, and I'm literally going like freehand. I'm going free flow. I don't have a script or anything. I'm just going to say what comes to my mind. It was yesterday, so I'll just talk you guys through like what happened, how I felt, and like just the whole day. I think it's the first year Imperial is doing their interviews in person, which is pretty cool, because I personally prefer interviews in person. And we basically went, and around 12 o'clock, 12:30, we had the commencement speech, I guess it was just an admissions talk from the admissions tutor for computing. I think he's called like Peter McBrien or something like that, you know, just a typical professor's name, Dr. Peter McBrien. And he basically just talked us through like the history of the computing course, the history of Imperial College, which I don't really know why, like, because it was kind of irrelevant, but you know, it was still quite interesting. And that lasted for around 45 minutes, and then after that we were given like our timetables for the day, our personalized timetables, and basically there are like 9 groups, and like each group has like a different time slot for their interviews, and then when they're not having their interviews, we go on a tour of the campus, which includes like looking at the sports hall, looking at like the accommodation, and also there are like student demos of their computing projects from like different years. So I think there was one from each year, because every year I think there's a project for the course in Imperial. So after the kind of opening talk, we basically were split off into our groups, and we were all assigned a student from currently doing the computing course. My student was a really nice girl who was in 3rd year, and she basically just talked to us about like what to basically like spoke to us from a student's point of view, which again was really nice, just to have, like especially before an interview when everyone's kind of nervous, and it just kind of makes everyone kind of slightly calmer, which is great, you know, it's always great. And then basically like after we spoke a bit, we had lunch, and like they had loads of food. They had like loads of different types of sandwiches, like literally every different type of bread you could imagine was made, like there was a sandwich for that. And so basically we had some food after that, and then for me my interviews were at 3 o'clock, so that meant before 3 we had a quick campus tour, where we basically went to different dorms, and then after, and then I'll speak chronologically, and then at 3 basically everyone, we kind of went back to like where we were sitting, where all our stuff was, where we had lunch, kind of just like the main kind of room for the day. And basically there are loads of different interviewers. I think they're all just either like professors in the computing department or like research fellows or whatever, but there are loads of people that interview people. We all sat down, and then the interviewers came to collect their interviewees. So I was the first one from my group, so the guy came, and then he was like, "Benjamin Lee, is he here?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." So then I just went with him. So now for the interview itself, which is probably like what you guys care about the most, it was like, at least for me, the interview was so chill. It was like the most nicest thing I've ever had. Have a really like friendly, informal discussion about like computer science, like about like my current interests, like a few things on my personal statement that I mentioned, and then we did like 2 problem solving questions, kind of like logic based questions, which if you guys have done the Cambridge or Oxbridge interviews in general, it was like questions like those basically, but I think slightly easier. But then again, I don't know, because I think it's really subjective depending on what interviewer you get, because when we all came back and met again in the room, some people were like, oh yeah, like my interviewer only asked me 1 question, but then other people like were asked like, you know, loads of different questions, and their interview was really harsh and they felt really scared, like things like that. So I think at the end of the day, it was a great day, and it was certainly like a lot less nerve-wracking than it was definitely a lot less nerve-wracking than Cambridge, but I think it was a lot less nerve-wracking than what I was expecting in general, which was good, because and I think what contributed to that was the fact that like we could like talk to all the other interviewees who are in the same position as like each other. I have a friend that's already Imperial doing computing, and he said that 80% of people that get interviewed get in, which is like really reassuring. And then like one of the students was like, yeah, I'm pretty like one of the current students that were there to like kind of reassure the interviewees, she was kind of like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the interviewers just like doing it because it's like funny for them. I think because like I feel like the interview is a lot less important to Imperial than to like Oxbridge, but I don't know, I might be wrong. But I think it was just a really nice day, and like I met really nice, like great people, and like all the demonstrations kind of just got me excited to go to Imperial. So I think I'd say the main I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but I'd say the main purpose for like this interview day, like in Imperial's perspective, is literally to convince people that Imperial should be their top choice, and that they should come to Imperial. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have interviews soon, honestly don't be like worried at all. It was really chill, it was really nice, and yeah, just like I guess prepare a bit as well, like just brush up on your problem solving, and kind of just have a look at your personal statement, maybe have a look at like something in the course that really excites you, so like if they ask about that, you can answer it really quickly. And also obviously like the obvious interview questions, like why Imperial, why computer science, yeah, just like the obvious questions. So yeah, honestly, like I'm sure you will be fine if you have an Imperial interview. If you have questions, put them in the comments. Like one of my previous videos where I made a video about the Imperial admissions test for computing, a lot of people emailed me, but I'm really slow at getting back to emails. I think I get back a lot quicker if you just comment in the comment section, because like I have a notification on my phone. So yeah, hope this video helped you, and like I said, just like ask me any questions in the comments below.